the homos that don't seem to want to, I don't know, I guess that don't seem to understand the older videos that I've done on this work, okay? I'll fucking entertain you. So this is a JL Audio W6 version 2, okay? I don't think they made a D2. I think they only have D4, but anyways, what I've done is ground with a pneumatic air grinder. I use an angle grinder. The top lip where the surround meets. And then I've sliced in there and cut off the cap. Okay, that's all it is. In fact, this one doesn't even attach in the center like the W7. And then I cut the old garbage can setup so that way there's no misplacement when I put it back together and then use CA on the outside. You can also use E6000 if you don't have any CA. You can find CA either from me. We do a little bottle for like $5 shipped, and then a big bottle kit with it's 2 ounces of CA, which we call Robot Jizz. And then you also get 8 ounces of what we call Stiffy spray, which is just the accelerator. It's not an activator, it's an accelerator, meaning you don't need it, but it does accelerate the process. And it's based on acetone. And you can mix up your own if you want. You just buy this little packet, you buy this can, since the California health codes or whatever don't want to ship acetone through UPS anymore. So now they just ship you this little like seasoning packet that you put in there, and then make sure you mark this because it's not regular acetone now. And that's Stiffy spray. That's it. We can sell that to you if you want as well. So anyways, you get your, make sure you get the version 2 surround. I think this is version 2. That version 2 is a little bit bigger. This might be the version 1, I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking this might be version 1. So it doesn't quite fit. See that? So the process is the same though, as you want to prep. Maybe, I don't know, let me look. No, this is version 1. It's too small. So anyways, you get version 2 or whatever, you get the version that you need. And you can get that from Springfield Speaker Repair. You can get it from Lord of Bass. Your best bet is to look on eBay for deals. And then sometimes if you go directly to this website, sometimes you can get a little bit better deal. So because in those cases, they make more money if they sell direct to you. And that's why they'll give you a discount if you buy directly from the website rather than through eBay. Because eBay is a fucking thief. And they want 30% for bullshit. Like they're a real auction house. They didn't do fucking shit. So anyways, you cut those up, and I just used, in this case, I used Manila folder to shim it. It's like when I go over to your mom's house though, you gotta lick your fingers before you stick them in. And that gives you a little bit of traction to get it in there. The idea is so that you shim it, right? And the shims hold it in place while you put it on. And then they also center the coil so that it's, because a lot of times guys will not use shims, or there's some videos out there that don't use shims, and I'm like, you're an idiot. They're like, well, this is the design that JL came up with, and it's like they cheat. There's several things that they do to cheat so that you don't get rubbing, or at least you don't hear it, but it still rubs, so you should still use a shim. So, but anyways. Typically what I do is I will adhere the outside first, and then like sometimes I'll clamp it. I'll use because this is kind of weird, sometimes I'll use like a let me show you. I will use probably like this. This is a little spacer ring that I sell for like $10. See how it almost fits? And so what I'll do is I'll snip with, I got some linemen's. These were my dad's that I stole from his storage before he put all his shit in jail. So what I do is I cut it, and then I remove a little section so that it fits nice and snug right inside that little area. And then that way the clamps, when you put the clamps on, they have something to grab onto. See, because like that, if you look, it's never going to reach unless you go like this, and then you don't quite know if you're grabbing it or not. So you want to put something in between there so that now it has something to grab onto. Does that make sense? And you can do 2 of these if you want. You can also, if you don't have clamps, you can do what I call a gravity clamp, which is where you do 2 of these, and then you put some weight on top or a board or something like that, and then like a magnet or something like that. So you just use gravity as your clamping method. So like I said, these are like, I sell these for like $10 each, shipped. It's 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 9.8 inch. This is the original dimensions that were used on the TC Sounds, whatever. I found the original tooling that Tilo used, and they actually got rid of the 1-inch one and then I guess filled it in, and so that they could make this for me, which was so nice. So, and they were so happy when I contacted them, like, hey, you got these? And the price was like super cheap, and I was like, okay, how many do I want? And he's like, how's 500? And I was like, he told me the price, and I was like, how about 1,000? So we sell this, but I just don't advertise it because it's so tiny, and then you got to box it and ship it and all that kind of stuff. I'd rather just sell to reconers anyway. And that's one of the reasons why I don't have a website or anything like that. I'd rather deal with people that just know what the fuck they're doing. Oh, there's a little one. So, but anyways, so you go back and cut this. Make sure you use a sharp blade. Cut this except for one part so that it opens up like Oscar the Grouch's house. You put in your shims. So now it's shimmed. You put a glue bead down, put the surround down, put your clamps on, clamp it, leave it overnight, okay? Even though, like, some of these reconers that use CA in their triple joint, they're dickheads. They're like, oh, I'm in and out in 30 minutes, man. It's like, no. If you want to do it right, if you don't want any problems, fucking this is the way to do it. If you read the instructions, it says to actually cure for 12 to 24 hours. If you're using E6000 for this and for this, give it at least a day, or if not a day or 2. And then what you want to do is, like in a cold climate like this, you want to keep it in a warm, dry area, like inside or something like that. Just not in the garage, because it tends to get a little cooler, especially at night. So anyways, you do the outside, you come back in the morning, you unclamp it, and then you go back and do the inside. And this is a little more difficult because the shim isn't super sturdy, and so you may have to rig something up to kind of give it a little bit of pressure. Back when I used to do a bunch of these, I don't really do them anymore, but this guy I charged like 120. I was like, fuck yeah. He goes, well, the other guy wants 150. I go, oh, I'll do it for 120. So some stuff I'm hoary on, so you'll get that. Where is it at? Here's the one. This is the one for the W7 that I made. So these are just old Diamond Audio D6 hardware that I didn't use at the time, and so I just glued them one by one, and then I put this on top so that we could then put some weight on top of it. Just make little jigs like this. Again, I have a whole bunch of these plastic rings for a whole bunch of different applications that we got from the concept buyout. I don't have a list. I don't have pictures. I don't have a website that you can get all those on. Again, if you just like, I'm not a big fan of people just throwing money at a problem, but in some situations, that's kind of the key. So if you want to get my attention, throw some money at me, because otherwise I'm busy with other people's money and their orders and their things like this. I just finished this one up. I got to just jizz on the cone and it's done. It's already sold. That's how fucking busy I am. This guy, just the cone was broken. So we shaved this one off, and we're going to put a new cone on it. And then what I did simultaneously is build another one, because I happen to have another motor. And this uses the old 120 millimeter bolt hole circle. So I just bolted on another one. I'll make a second one. And then his daughter's the one that killed him. They'll bring in the other one, and I'll just do a swap. See? And then I just charge them for the repair, which I think I only charged them like 120 or something like that. This is the old version 1 SA. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to turn this into a shop update. I just want to share information with you guys. So anyways, so then you use the jig to hold this on overnight. Again, same thing. And then what you do is you remove the shims. You don't really want to test yet, because this is going to be floppy. So then this goes back into place, and then you can either use, you can rough up these edges as well, the right there, both surfaces if you can. You don't want to use a whole lot of CA, but you can just use regular CA. Spritz it if you want. Again, you want to put something in the middle to hold that into place. Again, weight, and then put the cap on. And then the cap you can probably attach. It depends on how pretty you want it to look. In this case, I like using the E6000 because of the way it settles, and it ends up looking like professional glue, which is it's not. It's just fucking craft glue. And then that's it. And then make sure you just make sure your polarity is correct. So I think that's how JL has it with the badge, the little thing right there, and then that. So I think that's it. So there's your ReFoam video for the JL Audio 10W6 version 2. And the version 3 is also the same thing, but right now there's not open tooling on the version 3, and I'm surprised somebody hasn't just gone to China and knocked it off. The only reason why we have tooling on these is because these used to the parts used to get made here in America or in Nogales, and JL has since abandoned their tooling, a lot of their American tooling. And so, like I told you previously in this video about finding the original vendor for TC Sounds, there are original vendors for JL audio parts. Like we found it's the same vendor. We found the W0 gaskets for 10-inch and 12-inch. And so I saw those too. Those were American made. That's really nice. They use nice flexible rubber. It's very high quality. I like the softer rubber versus the harder stuff that you get from China. It's just easier to work with. And I think it looks a little better, a little more higher quality. Whether it is or not, I'm not the professional on that. But that's it. I love you guys. I will talk to you later.